Welcome to another Midday Manifest. I'm your girl, Coach Misty, and this is the livest, rawest, realest, ratchetest Bible study on God's green internet. And yesterday, honey, I had a word for y'all because I didn't have my book, but God still had a word for y'all. But today we got the book, and guess what? I still got a word for y'all. So, without further ado, if you got something to drink, I suggest you take up what? A sip. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One more. Hmm. You need what heater? What are you talking about? Mm, two more. And let's get started. All right, y'all. So if you got your book, we on Law 43. We are going to start our new book. You needed that word yesterday. I said, who got the heater, Jesus? Listen, tap that screen, share the likes. Make sure y'all can go ahead and share this live right now. Share this live right now. Let me tell you something. The goal for next week is us to have at least one live next week. One live next week where we have 200 people watching at one time. I want one live next week. So if you got to tell people about it, tell people to go follow me. We need one live next week where we have at least 200 people in attendance at the same time. So that is the goal. Listen, that is our goal for next week. At least 200 people in attendance at the same time, one live next week. I ain't saying all week. I just want one live next week. Huh? One live next week. Okay? All right. So before we get started, if you have not purchased your book, we're going to start this book at the beginning of May, The Psychology of Winning. In my emails that's coming out, it say the power of winning. But but it's the psychology of winning. But guess what? You don't need to know the name. Just click the link in my bio. You can click the link in my bio, or you can click the link in the emails that's coming out every day that's telling you, hey, go get your book. The link for the book is up there. So this is the book we're going to start in May, The Psychology of Winning. Because guess what? It's too early, coach. You too cute and it's too early. You ladies and gentlemen need to know the psychology behind winning. When you understand the psychology behind winning, you understand that you've been winning for a long time. All right? All right. So without further ado, what it do? And yes, I am going to get a facial. I hope that you're the one on Saturday. So shout out to everybody who contributed to the cause. Going to get a facial on Saturday. If not, you are the prototype. All right, y'all. Listen. The pens are longer. Okay, friend. Oh, you can pen longer. Y'all know what time it is. The 48 laws of power. Y'all, it's the 48 laws of power. Let's get into it. Y'all, if you have this book, now I know I don't know. I think this is like the only kind of book they sell. If you have the book, if you don't have the book, don't leave. I'm going to keep you highly entertained. Okay, listen. 367. We are on page 367. 367. Y'all better go play that number today. 367. Okay. Law 43. Law 43 says work on the hearts and the minds of others. Huh? Law 43 says work on the heart and the minds of others. Okay. Listen, it says when you try to coerce somebody into something, listen, y'all said play it. Now, go on and play it. Play it for $1 straight. When you try to coerce someone into something, it creates a reaction that will eventually work against you, right? When you try to trick somebody into something, when you try to trick them into something, that eventually will work against you. What it says is that you must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. You must seduce others into wanting, right? Wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. You got to seduce somebody into doing what you want them to do. You can't trick them into doing what you want them to do because when they realize they've been tricked, then game is up. The game is over, right? Not only have you lost a loyal friend, a loyal confidant, have you lost somebody maybe that you love, right? You have been known as a trickster. Thank you, friend. So it says you must seduce others into wanting. They have to want to do it to move in your direction. Okay. It says a person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. And the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. It says, and the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. You soften up the restraints by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Latoria, you better get them, friend. It says that what you do is you work on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others, and they will grow to hate you. Let me tell you something. In this game called life, you have to you have to acknowledge other people's feelings. You do. In this game called life, you have to do that. I listen, y'all get them, baby. Listen, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I was just talking to a guy, this guy that he and I've been going back and forth. He and I've been going back and forth since 2020. It's another one. And he was like, you know what? Like, there's a reason why. And I done got about three of those. Thank you, friend. I done got about three of those, like, in the last week. They say, hey, it's the reason why we keep running into each other. We need to see where this is going. Remember, I wrote in my plan for 90 days that I was going to have a boyfriend. And baby, they are entertaining and putting in applications. So I said, okay. I said, we can try it out, right? When I FaceTime him today while he was at work, he's a teacher. When I FaceTime him today while he was at work, the first thing he did was to make a negative comment about my head wrap. To make to what kind of he's talking about what type of Harriet Tubman look we got going on. What? Listen, the first thing he do was say something negative about my look. And I'm laughing to myself. I said, because if you are trying to win me over, if this is what you want to do, this is not the way to do it. And so I go to explain to him. I said, now I'm going to have to cut our conversation short so I can go ahead and call the next one. And he's going to tell me how beautiful I am for at least 3 to 5 minutes. And he said, well, that's my love language. If I don't talk about you, I don't like you. I said, that's not how you do it. Huh? What are you trying to do, sir? See, when you break a person down like that, you're really trying to break them down so that they feel like that's what you deserve. You can't break me down for me to want to be with you. That's crazy. I said, so I told him, I said, I'm going to tell you how it affected me because see, the old Missy just would have hung up on you and blocked you, but I see you around the city too much. So let me explain to you, thank you, friend, how that affected me. And then I'm going to go ahead and go call somebody else. Yeah. See, you don't do that. And I joke with people all the time, right? But I don't do that until we have a solid relationship, a solid friendship, a solid foundation that's already in play. Huh? Because, see, I've already worked on your heart and your mind. I've already worked on your heart and your mind. So if I do say something about your outfit, about your braids, about your whatever the case may be, we both gonna laugh because you know I love you. Not when you just starting out. Okay, I just wanted to put that in there. Again, it says you must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. Well, funny, we know that's not a love language. That's why he's not in love. We know that ain't a love language. That's why he by himself. Can't be no love language. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start at the bottom of page 369. The bottom of page 369, it says, it is so infuriating to meet with a person who makes no effort to seduce you or attempt to persuade you. Huh? And he wonder why I don't deal with him. It says, it is so infuriating to meet with a person who makes no effort to seduce you or to attempt to persuade you, even if only for the purpose of deception. Lie to me. Huh? Sometimes, hey, lie to me sometimes. Not just because something that's going to hurt my feelings, but seduce me sometimes. When I wake up in the morning, I got that little ponytail on the top of my head. Tell me I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. I know I'm not, but lie to me sometime. How when I wake up and I got eye crust right here from my lashes and my lashes is throwing up gang signs. Look at me and tell me that you wouldn't want to wake up next to nobody else. Okay, it says, it is so infuriating to meet with a person who makes no effort to seduce you or attempt to persuade you, even if only for the purpose of deception. And do not imagine, okay, it says, and do not imagine that she represents a bygone era or that she is even rare. All right. It says such types live in their own bubble. They seem to feel that they are born kings and queens and the attention is owed to them. So I am not bigger. Yeah, my lashes be throwing up gang signs in the morning. I am not bigger than the part. Listen, I'm not too big. Well, I don't mean like weight wise, but I'm just talking about as far as personality, as far as who I am, right? As a person, I'm not too big to try to seduce you. I'm not too big of a person. I'm not too well off not to try to seduce you. Huh? I even try to in seducing. We didn't always talking about it in a sexual. It ain't gotta be physical. I want to mentally seduce you. Huh? I want to mentally seduce you sometimes. And I'm not talking about just me, a man and a woman. I'm talking about my friends. Huh? Sometimes I want to mentally seduce my friends sometimes. They need that. Huh? That's what keep the friendship going. Huh? Yeah, listen. It says anybody who lives in their own bubble who feel like they don't have to seduce or they don't have to make an effort to persuade somebody. They think they are kings and queens and that the attention is owed to them. They do not consider anyone else's nature, but bulldoze over people with the self-righteous arrogance of a Marie Antoinette. Now, the book talked about Marie Antoinette. Y'all can go back and read it if you like. It says, pampered and indulged as children. Okay. These adults still believe that everything must come to them. Convinced of their own charm, they make no effort to charm, seduce, or gently persuade. I'm all about it. I'm a charm you. I'm a persuade you. And I'm a mentally seduce you. You hear what I'm saying? I'm going to have you do what I do thought you wanted a marriage. Huh? Have somebody do what you want them to do because they thought that's what they want to do. I'm gonna seduce you into doing what I need you to do. Huh? And you're gonna think it was your idea to do it. Thank you, Jesus. Listen, I'm on the top of page 370. It says, in the realm of power, such attitudes are disastrous. At all times, you must attend to those around you. Listen, gauging their particular psychology, tailoring your words to what you know will entice and seduce them. This requires energy and art. The higher your station, the greater the need to remain attuned to the hearts and the minds of those below you. Huh? What when I ask y'all when we come on at late night and I notice that I don't have it just be my A1 day ones, right? When we come online at night and I notice I ain't got no new people, maybe I'm not on the For You page and it's just my A1 day ones. What do I say? What y'all want to do? I don't come on here and just about automatically assume y'all want to do mediumship. I don't come on here and say, okay, well, I'm only doing B. I say, what y'all want to do? Huh? What you want to do? Guess what? Because if I do what you want to do, then you're more likely to go ahead and send in for a question or a call. Ding ding, chicken wing. Okay. It says the higher the station, the greater the need to remain attuned to the hearts and minds of those below you, creating a base of support to maintain you at the pinnacle. Without that base, your power will teeter, and at the slightest change of fortune, those below will gladly assist in your fall from grace. I'm gonna say this: at the slightest change of fortune, those below will gladly assist in your fall from grace. Y'all, let's talk about the observation of the Lord. Listen, listen, listen. On page 370 in the middle, it says, it is better to win hearts, said the wise man, than cities, better to battle with hearts than with weapons. I hope you will succeed in winning the hearts of the people. I'm going to say this again. It's better to win hearts than cities. Huh? It's better to battle with hearts than with weapons. Let me take the thank you for it. Let me take that first one. It says it's better to win hearts than cities. Let me tell you something. You trying to go in and conquer, what you need to do is win over people. You don't need to conquer nothing. How when you go in and you try to rule with an iron fist, those people will revolt against you. You need to win the hearts of people because even if you take down to nothing, if you win the hearts of people, these people will follow you wherever you go. Listen, let me tell you something. I knew I had won over the hearts of at least 80 of y'all. When TikTok was acting up the last night I went live, so that must have been Tuesday night. When TikTok was freezing, I had no idea TikTok has froze. I just saw the numbers dwindle. We only had 19 people watching between Facebook and YouTube. Let me tell you how I knew I had went over the hearts of people. Because when I looked back, that 19 turned into 79 just like that. People could have been like, oh, it's freezing. We almost at the end. I'm going to go ahead and log off. When I said 60 people jumped from YouTube from TikTok to YouTube, Facebook in a matter of seconds. That lets me know that even this fall, listen, even if this fall down, we can rebuild somewhere else. That lets you know you done won over the heart of the people. You done won over the heart of the people. Huh? I had people say to me, people say, well, you still at 112,000. I thought you would have more followers by now. Baby, let me tell you something. If I log in every day and I only gain 25 followers a day from my lives, I'm okay with that. I don't want a video to go viral. I don't want a viral video. You know why? Because when people follow you for going viral, they following you because of the content you put out, not because of the person they are. They don't know you. They don't know you. They just saw a funny video and they keep passing it along. They know nothing about you. All they want to know is, can you keep my attention? What else funny you have? I would rather get people from my lives that follow me because I know you're interested in what I got to say than me having a funny video or a dancing video or something like that blow up. That's crazy. You hear what I'm saying? So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the organic growth. Right? People, are you shadow banned? I don't know if I was, if I ain't, however, whatever. But guess what? It is what it is, right? And I love everybody. I love every one of y'all, every 112,000 of y'all. I love y'all. Let's get back into it. It says, listen, when they talked about it's better to win hearts than cities, better to battle with hearts than with weapons, and I hope you will succeed in winning the hearts of the people. It talks about a general of an army. It talks about these two guys that was fighting back in somewhere in Asia, baby. And it says that what the guy did, the one that guy did, he laid a trap and managed to capture a large part of the other guy's army, including the king himself. Instead of punishing or executing, listen, his prisoners, however, he separated the soldiers from their king, had their shackles removed, gave them food and wine, and then he addressed them. Huh? So these two guys was at war. The one guy managed to capture most of the army and the king. He managed to capture the two kings was at war, and the one king was captured in his army. So as if I'm in a soldier in the army that's being captured, I'm expected to be what? Executed. I'm expecting him to imprison me or get rid of me. But you know what that man did? Right? Because it's better to capture the hearts, to fight with hearts than fight with weapons. Now these people, these men were already tired of being in this war. They missed their families, they missed their loved ones, they missed their homes. So what did the other king do? He said, I'm not going to imprison you. I'm not going to take you to the guillotine. I'm going to love on you. I'm going to show you grace. I'm going to give you what you've been missing. I'm going to take the shackles off of you. I'm going to give you food and wine. Huh? Yeah, and they hungry too. I'm gonna give you food and wine. I'm gonna take the shackles of you off of you, and I'm going to let you go back home. I'm gonna let you go back home. It says the man said, the king who captured them, he said, I can capture that man as easily as I can take something out of my pocket. What I'm trying to do is to win their heart. And when I do, peace will come of itself here in the South. So his generals, the guy who, let's call him King L. King L was the one that captured King M's army. And King L's, his lieutenants and sergeants said, what are you doing? We captured their army. We captured the king. What are you doing? He said, listen. He said, if I kill the king, then his son will come after me. Right? Whoever comes into power next, if I kill the king, his son or the next in power will only come after my head. We will forever be in war. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to win his heart. We on 370. I'm trying to win his heart. And if I win his heart through generosity, through grace, if I win his heart, then peace will come to everybody. You hear what I'm saying? He said, I can show you that I can capture you. I can capture you today, tomorrow, and the next day after that. Capturing you is not what it is winning over your heart. Huh? That's the battle, is winning your heart. Because if I win your heart, I have peace. Come on, somebody. Let's go. We at the page of 371 now. We at the page of 371 now. It says, listen. It said King L had two options. It says he wanted to try to defeat the barbarians in the South with one crushing blow, or patiently and slowly win them to his side over time. Most people more powerful than their enemy grab the first option and never consider the seconds. Remember, the first option was, I'm going to go ahead. I'm more powerful than them. I'm going to capture them, right? I'm going to capture them, and then one crushing blow, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. or I can patiently and slowly win them on my side over time. Right? It says most people more powerful than their enemy grab the first option and never consider the second. But the truly powerful think of head. The first option may be quick and easy, but over time it brews ugly emotions in the hearts of the vanquished. Their resentment turns to hatred. Such animosity keeps you on edge, and you spend your energy protecting what you have gained, growing paranoid and defensive. The second option, though, I'm talking to some of y'all women who done married men who got kids. Come on, somebody. I'm talking to some of y'all women who done married men that have kids. And the first thing you want to do, yes, his baby mama is clowning. It should have been her. That's what she feels like. Yes, his baby is mama's clowning. Because if he married you, it's definitely no chance of them getting back together. Yes. Yes, she is acting a fool. So your thing is, you know what? We just gonna get rid of her. Well, I'm done with her. I ain't got to deal with her. No, ma'am. He got to deal with his kids. Hmm? Got to deal with his kids. You've already won. What is the sense of vanquishing this person when you already won? You got the very thing that she holds true to her heart, the very thing that she didn't get. You already got it. So what's the point of going to war? Right? Listen, it says the resentment turns into hatred and animosity keeps you on edge. You spend your energy protecting what you have gained, growing paranoid and defensive. The second option, though, more difficult, not only brings you peace of mind, but it converts the mind of a potential enemy into a pillar of support. It converts the mind of a potential enemy into a pillar of support. Now, I'm gonna say this to say that sometimes some people just don't see it like that. Sometimes some women and some men, they baby mamas get with somebody and get married and she happy as hell and the kids is happy as hell and they just don't see it like that. They ain't never gonna see it like that. You ain't never gonna get them to be on your side. You ain't never gonna get them to be at peace or anything like that. You still don't go to war. It's a way to find peace within yourself without going to war with somebody else. It's a way to find peace. It's a way to vanquish that person without going to war with them. But we talked about that last time. We still at the page of top of 372. It says, in all your encounters, take a setback. Take the time to calculate and attune yourself to your target's emotional makeup and psychological weaknesses. I'm going to say this again. Taylor, listen to what I'm about to say, Taylor. In all of your encounters, take a step back. Take the time to calculate and attune yourself to your target's emotional makeup and psychological weaknesses. Force will only strengthen their resistance. With most people, the heart is the key. They are like children, ruled by their emotions. To soften them up, alternate harshness with mercy. Play on their basic fears and also their loves, which is freedom, family, and whatever else. Once you break them down, you will have a lifelong friend and a fiercely loyal ally. Before we get into it, I got a little story time. So I told this story before, but I'm gonna make it short version. When I was working at Dart in the customer service, I was customer service supervisor. I had worked there a year, left that job, went over to a different department, and then I came back. When they didn't like me the first year I was there. They didn't like me the first year I was there, not because I did anything to them, just because I was an outsider. Okay, and they were a very close knit group. When I went over to the other side, or I went over to transportation, the people who really didn't like me felt like they had no need to respect me because I wasn't a supervisor any longer in their department. So anytime I came over there to that department for anything, they really showed their ass. And I said ass on me, they manifest, because I needed to say that. Then when I came back, when I was rehired, when I interviewed for my position again, it was rehired as a supervisor. The same people who showed their ass really showed their ass, because then they was trying to find a reason for me not to be in that position. Not because I had did something to them, but because they knew that they had showed their, you know what I'm about to say, ass for a whole year when I wasn't there. Right. And they were scared of retaliation. So they went to the union rep, Latanya. Latanya did not care for me. I never did nothing to Latanya. She just didn't care for me. She felt like somebody else should have had my job and not me. They went to Latanya, and Latanya had statements, was meeting with people, all kind of stuff, right? Trying to find a way for me to get fired, to lose my job, because people were scared of me being in there, right? I had cussed Tanya out in a professional way. I had told off Tanya and my late manager. She done gone on to glory. I told them both off, because I said, until you got some concrete evidence that I did something, stop playing with me. I knew how Tanya felt about me, and she knew how I felt about her. But one day, which happened to be the anniversary of Tanya's son being killed, she came to work. She did not. It was like the 5th year anniversary of her son being murdered, and she came to work, and she thought she was just going to do her shift and I guess go home and whatever else she was going to do. But at work, she broke down crying. She broke down crying on the phone at work. I didn't have no idea what was going on until someone else told me, "Hey, it's the anniversary of her son's murder." So I asked her, I said, "Hey, go ahead and get off the phone." Right. I didn't tell her to go home without no pay. I said, "Go ahead and get off the phone." And I took her into a back room. Now, normally when you take a person off the phone, you can probably keep them off the phone for about 15, 20, no more than 30 minutes before people get to saying, "Okay, well, why she ain't got to be on the phone? My grandma died 2 years ago. You don't see me in here crying." This is the type of call center I work in. And I took that woman off the phone, knowing how she felt about me, knowing this is the same woman who wants to get me fired, the same woman who tried to get me fired. I took her into a room and I talked to her. I talked to her and I let her cry, let her weep or whatever. Now I could not empathize with her about losing a grown son, but I've lost a child myself. I lost a child at birth. And I shared that with her to let her know that I understand when those days roll around, and I know it's harder for you because you had your son for almost 20 years, even though I only had mine for 20 minutes. And I treated her human. I treated her with the dignity that she had never given me. And when I tell you, I didn't do that because I was trying to win her over. I didn't do that because I knew she was coming for my job. I did that because I'm a mother. I did that because I'm a person. I did that because I have a heart. And when I tell you that my enemy turned into one of my most faithful and loyal supporters, my enemy turned into the person who opened up her doors to me when I moved back to Texas with nothing. That was the same person who wanted to get me fired, was the same person who opened up her house to me. The same person who opened up her home to me and my son. That's the same woman. You hear me? You hear me? So I need y'all to think about it, right? How to win over the hearts of others. Think about that before you go into an attack. I could have just sent her home for the day. I'm like, "Hey, if you can't do your job, go home." I had every right to do that. But I let that woman stay off the phone as long as she wanted to, talk to her as long as she wanted to. It wasn't about, I wasn't Misty the supervisor. She wasn't LaTanya the rep. We were just two mothers sharing a moment about our loss. All right, let's get back to the book. I just have to tell y'all that. All right, let's talk about the keys of power, page 372. It says, "In the game of power, you are surrounded by people who have absolutely no reason to help you unless it is in their best interest to do so." Okay, listen. In the game of power, you are surrounded by people who have absolutely no reason to help you unless it is in their best interest to do so. And if you have nothing to offer this self interest, you are likely to make them hostile, for they will see you as just one more competitor, one more waster of their time. Okay, it says, listen, the key that unlocks the stranger's heart and mind. I hope y'all ready. Listen, listen, it says those who overcome this prevailing coldness are the ones who find the key that unlocks the stranger's heart and mind, seducing him into their corner, if necessary, softening him up for the punch. But most people never learn this side of the game. When they meet someone new, rather than stepping back and probing to see what makes this person unique, they talk about themselves, eager to see what makes, listen, eager to impose their own willpower and prejudices, right? So here's the deal. When you meet somebody new, don't talk about what you do. I hate when people do that. I hate when people do that. When you meet somebody, listen, when I'm dating in this dating realm, okay? I'm going to say this to say that. I meet more men who work a regular 9 to 5 than men who own a lot of businesses, right? So I don't meet a lot of men who are like me. So when I meet a man who's working a regular 9 to 5, when I say regular 9 to 5, I'm not talking about low wage, minimum wage. Hell, he could be a school teacher. That's still a 9 to 5, right? When I meet a man that work a 9 to 5, I let them talk about them. I ask them questions about what they do. What's interesting about what you do? Tell me about that. Because if I get to telling you, well, I own this, I own that, and I do this, I do that, and I wake up when I want to, and I da 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 da, game over. Right? Game over. I let them talk about them. I want them to talk about them. What makes your job interesting? Teach me something, right? Teach me something new. I let them get that out. And then if they ask me, what do I do? I say, I own a couple things. And I go on about my business. Now that they really want to inquire, I may give them a little razzle dazzle. I'm not going to go down the line. I tell them, I said, as we grow in our friendship, as we grow in conversation, then we can talk about exactly what it is that I do, everything that I do. Okay. All right. It says this. It says, look, 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 look. It says, they argue, boast, and make a show of their power. So I'm going to go back to this. When you meet someone new, rather than stepping back and probing to see what makes this person unique, they talk about themselves, eager to impose their own willpower and prejudices. They argue, boast, and make a show of their power. They may not know that, but they secretly creating an enemy, a resistor, because there is no more infuriating feeling than having your individuality ignored, your own psychology unacknowledged. It makes you feel lifeless and resentful. Okay, so this is for all the people who always want to talk about what you got going on. Stop. I'm not talking about don't tell people your visions. I'm talking about when you meet somebody new, stop talking about yourself all the time. Stop talking about, oh, I do this and I do that, and I graduated from here and I have this. I met this guy, the guy that came up here when I was getting my walls covered, right? When I was getting all my stuff on my walls, the decoration in my office. And the first thing he do, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and and on paper he a good catch. On paper he a good catch. He wasn't bad on the eyes either. But you came up here talking about I'm this and I'm that, and I graduated and I have and I'm and guess what? You your ass right back on that elevator because I never called you again. Because I never called you again. Right? It's immediately turned off. Not because I feel inferior to his things, because I got the same degrees you got, Bobo. Same degrees, right? But we would know that because you never asked me about myself, right? I make more money than you, period, on any day of the week. But we wouldn't know that because you never asked me what I do. You just decided to come up here and tell me, and boy, bye. And that was it. May, right? Listen, you said I was talking to someone. They asked me my goals. I was working on that. That's none of your business. Well, here's the deal. If a person asks you your goals, they're trying to see if you're in alignment. If a person asks you what my goals are, I'll tell you what my goals are because you're trying to see if we're in alignment. If you talking about that ain't none of your business because the person asks you your goals, they should never call you back. They should never call you back. I ain't gonna tell nobody that's none of my business. A person asks me, well, I'll be like, you want my goals for 90 days, the rest of the year, or 5 years? What we doing? No, you can't. No, what? Your goals? Girl, you said that because you ain't know them. You did. Okay. Moving on. Everybody take a sip on that one. Take a sip. We're going to take a sip on that one. Friend. Oh, my God. One more for the one time. No. And yanks. And yanks. Okay, she's talking about, I told them none of your business. For the goals? Moving right along. Friend, listen. I hope you take my purpose class. I hope everybody just listen. I hope you take that purpose class, okay? I hope you take that purpose class. I hope you sign up on IamCoachMisty.com. Sign up for the purpose class because I don't want that never happen to you again. Let's go back to what we're saying. It says, remember, listen, the key to persuasion is softening people up and breaking them down gently. The key to persuasion is softening people up and breaking them down gently, right? It says seduce them with a two-pronged approach. Work on their emotions and play on their intellectual weaknesses. Again, you got to work on a person's emotions and play on their intellectual weaknesses. Be alert to both what separates them from everyone else, right? You need to be alert to three things. Let's get into it. I want you to pay attention to their individual psychology, right? How do they think? Why do they think the way that they think? Okay. You say what they share with everyone else, their basic emotional responses. Okay. All right. So it says you need to be alert to their individual psychology, how they think, why they think the way that they think. If someone tells you something that you don't agree with, don't be so quick to argue with them. Ask them why, like what made them come up with that answer. Y'all need to stop asking more probing questions. Huh? That's why some of y'all get in these old stupid relationships because you don't ask probing questions. Right? You don't ask probing questions. And that's why y'all end up 6 months later talking about I can't stand him, this, that, and the other. I just want to be rid of him, coach. You want me to make you a candle or some doggone, I don't know what you want me to do. I ain't gonna do I need to manifest him out of my life. Well, if you'd ask more probing questions, then realize that he had daddy issues. Well, here's the deal. You said I told I was probed too much. So a probing question is this. Like, why do you think like that? Not you interview, friend. You interview. See, interviewing and probing is two different things. Don't be interviewing people all the time. Where you grew up at, where your mama grew up at, what city y'all grew up in, what high school did you go to, what was your GPA? Did you go to college? How did you like college? That's interviewing. That's too much. That's interviewing. When I talk to somebody about something, my friend surprised me. We were talking about child support yesterday. Well, she was telling me about one of her clients in child support. And my friend was like, yeah, I didn't put my baby daddy on child support because I don't want the white man in my business. You said I definitely interviewed to not get hurt. That's not how you get hurt. That's not how you get hurt. Hold on. What? Let me go back to the. I'm gonna address that. Let me go back to the child support. My friend said I definitely don't want the white man in my business. What? I don't give a damn if it was green, blue, red, or yellow. What? The white man? What? Like I what? But she doesn't have a bad relationship with her child's father. I mean, they get it done. It might have be a little tug of war, but they get it done. And she has a really really good relationship with the family. But what? Like that's a probing question. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, you know what, girl, you sound super stupid. Listen, this, that, and the other. What made you say that? Right? You have to ask them. You have to see, but I'm not asking my response because I want to know why does she think the way she think? Right? What happened down the line? Why do you think the way she think? Right? And so when she told me something, like she got to telling me stuff about what she said, I understood it. I didn't agree with it, but I understood it. And I said, oh, okay. I'm gonna keep your number in my phone, girl. I thought something was wrong with you. Now my friend said I interviewed you so I don't get hurt. Let me tell you something. When you meet a man and you interview him, right? And you think you ask them all these questions. First of all, we lie in interviews all the time. I'm glad somebody say that. She said, I interview men so I don't get hurt. They're gonna lie to you anyway. And if they interview them, they know that you have been hurt and you are very protective of your heart. Right. So when you go and interview on a man, like I just asked them three simple questions. Do you have your own job? Like, do you have verifiable means of income? Do you have your own place in your own car? And how old is your youngest child? Because see, these are things that we're not even gonna get through the conversation. That's it. I don't ask all that stuff. If you got a car, I don't care what year your car is, right? I don't care about that because I'm probably gonna drive my car and meet you somewhere anyway. I'm not worried about what year your car is, right? Oh, how long? I'm not worried about how long you've been on the job. Do you have a job? Do you have a house to call your own? Do you have somewhere that you can go at night? So when I put you out of here at 12:36, you can go home. You can't stay here, huh? Where are you going? Huh? When I roll over and say what you about to do, I want to know that you got somewhere to go to, huh? Yeah. So I asked those type of questions. Everything else is gonna come out in conversation. Y'all got to stop interviewing these people and know that everything else that you want to know is gonna come out in conversation. Just learn to have your own just conversation. Okay. Because when a man come through and he get to probing me and he gets to, oh wait, that didn't sound right. Yikes. When a man comes through and he gets to after me doing a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of interviewing, that let me know, number one, somebody hurt you. Somebody hurt you. And it was real recent. And you're trying to make sure I'm not like her. Right? Somebody hurt you. And you probably want to move a little bit too faster than what I'm accustomed to. So no, thank you. Man. Okay. No, so y'all stop interviewing these people. Something's wrong. I gotta fix my shoe. Something wrong with my sock inside my Chuck Taylor. It's bothering the top of my foot. So just listen to the conversation. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. It says, listen, it says, where do we go? Oh, yeah. It says, remember, the key to persuasion is softening people up and breaking them down gently. Seduce them with a two-pronged approach. Work on their emotions and play on their intellectual weaknesses. Be alert to both what separates them from everyone else and what they share with everyone else. Okay. It says, once you move their emotions, it say aim at their primary emotions, love, hate, and jealousy. Aim at their primary emotions, love, hate, and jealousy. Love, hate, and jealousy, right? It says once you move their emotions, you have reduced their control, making them more vulnerable to persuasion. You got to love, hate, and jealousy are the primary emotions that you should be working on. All right, let's go to 373. Learn what they love. Learn what they love, dislike what they hate, huh? And don't create jealousy in your relationship. Okay? Listen, let me go to page of 373. It said educated and read real in his speeches, the voices. So here's the deal. If you are a person that want to be of the people, you have to be of the people while still being yourself. Let me say this. You have to be of the people while still being of yourself. Okay? You got to be this people's champ. It says you can be educated and real and well read, but your speeches should voice the concerns of the public, the public's deep anxieties, right? Encouraging them to vent their frustrations in public meetings. Okay. You can't get it. See, some of y'all go into rooms and you want to be the best, you want to talk and use big words. That ain't your audience. Y'all got to know y'all. Do y'all know your audience? You got to know your audience, right? When I did comedy, I knew my audience. All this is saying is know your audience. When I did comedy, I knew my audience. When I had an audience that had a lot of older people in there, like 40 and up, I didn't do a lot of cursing. I talked about my kids. It was stuff they can relate to. I talked about my kids and my childhood. I knew my audience. When I went somewhere and there was a little hood, it was a little ratchet, I talked about sexual stuff. I talked about relationship stuff. I talked about baby mama, baby daddy stuff. I knew my audience. Some of y'all need to know how to read the room before you open up your mouth. I don't care where your degrees come from. Learn how to read the room. You hear me? That's all that was saying. It says all of us are mortal and face the same dreadful fate, and all of us share the desire for attachment and belonging. Stir up these emotions, and you captivate people's hearts. All of us are mortal and face the same dreadful fate, and all of us share the desire for attachment and belonging. It says stir up these emotions, and you captivate our hearts. The best way to do this is with a dramatic vote. Let's talk about it. A dramatic vote, right? A dramatic vote. This is how you get people emotional. This is how they got your mamas and your grandmamas and your great grandmamas in church. A dramatic vote, right? All of us. Well, how do they get you in church, honey? When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing there would be. I can't sing like I want to because I'm at the office. Right? When we all see Jesus, we will sing and shout victory. Huh? How did they how did they keep us in shackles in church? Huh? Forget about what's going on the outside world. Forget that your light is about to get cut off. Forget that your son is selling drugs. Forget that your daughter is on her fifth baby. Because when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing there would be. We would go to church. Come on, somebody. We would go to church to relinquish everything that was going on in the outside world. Right? Because guess what? Everybody gonna die. To take it to heaven. Come on. Huh? They didn't talk about heaven on earth. They talk about hell on earth. You're going through hell because you're doing stuff, because you're not tithing. They didn't talk about it. That we didn't talk about heaven on earth. We didn't talk about that. But baby, what a day of rejoicing there would be. Oh, I wish I was at home because I'd sing it for real. Come on, somebody. It says, push people to despair, then give them relief. Push people to despair and then give them relief. Here we all see Jesus. We will sing. It says, if they expect pain and you give them pleasure, you win their hearts. If they expect pain, right? You've been going through it Monday through Saturday. You just got fired from your job. Your husband cheated on you. Your son and got suspended. Huh? Your son and got suspended. But you go on to church. You know why? Because you didn't have pain Monday through Saturday. And you go on to church on Sunday. Right? It says, if they expect pain, you give them pleasure. You win their hearts. Creating pleasure of any kind, in fact, will usually bring you success, as with allaying fears and providing or promising security. So if I play on your fears and I give you security, I said Jesus paid it all to him. Okay, I'm not about to sing for y'all, right? If I tell you to come lay it on the altar, huh? Come at the cross. I'm not going to do it for y'all. Okay? If I sing a hymn and tell you to come put it on the altar, guess what? I'm promising security. I'm saying no matter what you're going on, Jesus will take it on for you. Jesus died for our sins. This is all promising security. I didn't tell you how to get your light bill paid. I didn't sit up and do a sermon and say, okay, y'all, so this is how we going to make $1,000 this week. Okay? This how we gonna make $1,000. Everybody in the congregation, everybody in the church community, take your pens and paper out. This is how we gonna make $1,000. This is how you change your mindset to make $1,000. No, we don't do that. We say, pay your tithes, pay your offerings, and come lay it on the altar. Because Jesus paid it all. Yeah. God will make a way. We didn't tell you how it was gonna happen. We just said God will make a way. Come on, somebody. Yeah. That's called a dramatic jolt, or a dramatic jolt. It says symbolic gestures are often enough to win sympathy and goodwill. Symbolic gestures are often enough to win sympathy and goodwill. A gesture of self-sacrifice, right? For example, a show that you suffer as those around you will make people identify with you, even if your suffering is symbolic or minor and theirs is real. And theirs is real. Huh? And theirs are real. So if I come up here and I say, you know what, y'all? When I told y'all yesterday about my son, and that wasn't no symbolic gesture, that was real. Life was life for me yesterday. But I had a story to tell. What you think a testimony is? What do you think a testimony is? Huh? What do you think a testimony is? It's a symbolic gesture. When the pastor get up and say he had a testimony, when the pastor get up, now see, the pastor ain't gonna get up and tell you what life is life and like that. He ain't gonna give you too much. He might do this 4 times a year because he still got to make you know I'm human just like you. I'm human just like you. Me and my wife had an argument. When they talk about it in the pulpit, me and my wife was arguing yesterday. What? Girl, pastor and his wife argue? Me and my wife was arguing yesterday. We was arguing. They ain't gonna say I'm just like you, but they tell you. So me and my wife was arguing yesterday about something, right? And my son became upset. Oh my God, you start relating with them, right? You start to relate with them. This is how you win their hearts. I shouldn't be telling y'all this. I should just close this book up. You know what? We just gonna go because I'm telling y'all too much. Listen, it says symbolic gestures are often enough to win sympathy and goodwill. It says a gesture of self-sacrifice, a show that you suffer as those around you will make people identify with you, even if your suffering is symbolic or minor and theirs is real. When you enter a group, make a gesture of goodwill, soften the group up for the harsher actions that will follow later. All right. It says, listen, 373 at the bottom. It said, instead of manipulating lifeless pawns, make those on your side convinced and excited by the cause you have enlisted them in. This not only will make your work easier, but will also give you more leeway to deceive them later on. Right. You don't want people. What do we do with the music? What they do with the church music? Praise break. All of this is planned. Do y'all know that the band go in when the pastor might say, hey, we gonna go. Do y'all know sometimes y'all services are rehearsed? Do y'all know when they know that the praise break gonna happen when the pastor say something and then they say do 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 and the crowd go crazy? Huh? Because guess what? If y'all was just sitting there listening, if y'all was just sitting there and say, okay, pastor, amen. But guess what? He gonna hit that nail on it, pop. He gonna hit the hammer on the nail. Bop, and then the band go ba 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 ba. Music cut. All of this is playing. Music cut, and all you hear is people shouting, praying, dancing, clapping. Y'all get into it. See, that's something about your ancestors too. Them your ancestors coming out then, huh? And that beat coming. And baby, even if you don't know how to shout, baby, you get to rocking, you get emotional, you get hot, you get cold, you don't know what's happening to you. You stand up. The woman next to you done caught the Holy Ghost. All of this is planned. Moving on. Listen. It says, listen. This not will only make your work easier. but it will also give you more leeway to deceive them later on. And to accomplish this, you will need to deal with their individual psychologies, okay? Never clumsily assume that the tactic that worked on one person will necessarily work on another. To find the key that will motivate them, first get them to open up. To find the key that will motivate them, first give them to open up. I want to give an honor to God who was the head of my life. I've been going through this week. My car broke down this week. Testimony service. Give them the key to open up. Come on, somebody. The more they talk, the more they reveal about their likes and dislikes, the handles and levers to move them with. Play with somebody else. Don't play with me. Okay. It says the quickest way to secure people's minds is by demonstrating as simply as possible how an action will benefit them. I'm going to say this again. The quickest way to secure people's minds is by demonstrating as simply as possible how an action will benefit them. I have been a faithful and loyal servant. I have listened to everything that God had told me to do. I follow the Bible word for word. You hear what I'm saying? God told me to get up here and do this, and you can be like me one day too. If you just do what I do and say what I do and do what I say, you could be like me too. How many people are sitting up in the Potter house? How many want to be TD Jakes is sitting up at the Potter house up there, 2D Jakes? How many people want to be TD Jakes' daughter? How many women, and I ain't saying she don't have a good word, how many women want to be TD Jakes' daughter? And they sitting up and saying, oh my God, she's an amazing woman. Look at what she did. I got to know and see what she did. I got to give to this ministry because I want to be like that one day too. Right? I'm in this position, not because I'm TD Jakes' daughter. I feel a praise break coming on. Do 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 do. Not me using the book as a tambourine. I'm not in this position because I'm TD Jakes' daughter. I'm in this position because I did what I was supposed to do. I'm in this position because God has shown a brighter light on me than He has shown on you. And if you want God to bless you like He has blessed me, bless that cash app. Come on, somebody. Quit playing with me. It says the quickest way to secure people's minds is by demonstrating as simply as possible how an action will benefit them. Self-interest is the strongest motive of all. A great cause may capture minds, but once the first flush of excitement is over, interest will flag, okay? It says, unless there is something to be gained, self-interest is the soldier foundation. Self-interest. It says the causes that work best use a noble veneer to cover a blatant appeal to self-interest. The cause I'm about to give me another tambourine. The cause seduces, but the self-interest secures the deal. So the cause might seduce you, but the self-interest secures the deal. If me giving and going to church every month, if me giving 10% of my money, 10% of my money every Sunday, plus a love offering, plus a whatever else, plus the building fund, is going to mean that God is going to shine down on me and allow me to get this new Mercedes and let me go ahead and give. See, the cause was the church, but self-interest won you over. Now, I'm going to have to listen to some gospel music to get this praise break out my spirit while I'm up here at the office. I'm going to have to let a little gospel music play on this thing, okay, to let this praise break. All right. Y'all might like the words that I'm saying. I ain't grind my gavel on the desk. Y'all might like the words that I'm saying, but you really here for what you can learn. You're not here because I'm cute. You're not here because you like my necklaces. You're not here because you like my head wrap. You here because you want to learn how you can use this in your everyday life. You're really here for self-interest to learn how to get over, and that's okay. That's what I want you to be here for. Right? Let's be honest with ourselves. We all here for self-interest. Let's get it together. It says, listen, it's always good policy then to have in your pocket at least one artist or intellectual who can appeal concretely to people's minds. So if you can't do it, you need to have somebody who can appeal concretely to people's minds, okay? It said it is dangerous then to alienate those who have powers of expression and useful to pacify and exploit them, right? So if you don't have the power of expression, you better get somebody who do. Okay. Listen, it says, finally, learn to play the numbers game. Come on, somebody. Learn. We talking about winning over the hearts of people. It don't matter if you win over the heart of two people. You need to win over the heart of 200. And when you have 200, you need to be 2,000 and so on and so forth, right? Learn to play the numbers game. The wider your support base, the stronger your power. You can't talk about Beyonce. You can't talk about Beyonce. You damn almost can't talk about Lizzo. Y'all can talk about Coco Jones because she ain't there yet. She okay. Okay, we can talk about Candy Burris, but you better not talk about Escape. You see what I'm saying? It's a numbers game, right? Okay, it says, listen, it says, you too must constantly win over more allies on all levels. A time will inevitably come when you will need them. All right, so we at the bottom of page 360, 374. Let's talk about the keyhole. It says the keyhole. Picture this, picture a keyhole, right? Everybody picture a keyhole. It says, people build walls to keep you out. Come on, somebody. People build walls to keep you out. Never force your way in. You will find only more walls within walls. There are doors on these walls. Come on, somebody. So you got people, you look in the keyhole, right? You looking in. Look in that keyhole, right? And you see walls. The first thing you want to do is break down the wall. This ain't Jericho. You want to break down the wall. What you need to do is you need to scan that wall for a door. It says there are doors in these walls, doors to the heart and the mind, and they have tiny keyholes, right? Peer through the keyhole, find the key that opens the door, and you have access to their will and no ugly signs of forced entry. When you listen, y'all, a lot of us are emotionally unattached. I ain't finished yet, but I'm almost done. We're gonna get out of here. A lot of us have emotional issues, detachment issues, attachment issues, just issues, okay? Just issues, right? So the thing about it is when you meet somebody and they got an emotional wall up, whether it's a male or a female, whatever the case may be, you are not gonna break that wall down. Baby, you gonna spin yourself out trying to break that wall down. Because once you break that wall down, understand that that wall has been built because other ones this wall is protecting other walls. This wall is protecting other walls. It's protecting other walls. I got other walls to it, right? But you need to find an opening. You need to find a little opening. You need to find that little opening so you can see why is this wall built, right? And when you find out when that wall, come on, I'm gonna give it to y'all too, Facebook. You need to find that opening, find that opening, find that opening. And when you find out why this wall is built, they'll let you in. That wall might always be up there, but if you get to their heart, I don't care about breaking down the wall. I care about getting to your heart. I ain't about to break down the wall. I'm gonna walk in. You hear me? Listen, I'm gonna walk in. Because once I find out why you built that wall up, once I get that little keyhole to see inside, I'm gonna work on that. I'm not gonna work on breaking down that wall. It's gonna be too much. That's too much manual labor, and I ain't into manual labor. I'm just gonna walk in the door. You hear me? I'm gonna walk in the door. I'm gonna walk in all the doors straight to your heart and to your mind. And then we're gonna let somebody else deal with them walls from the outside in. All right, y'all. Let's talk about authority on 373, 375. It says, whoever attempts persuasion before the throne must carefully observe the sovereign's feelings of love and hate, his secret wishes and fears before he can conquer his heart. Whoever attempts persuasion before the throne. So before you try to persuade somebody, I want you to understand what they feel about love, what they hate, and what they wish for and what they fear. Everybody say love, hate, wish, and fear. Love, hate, we ain't gonna turn to no damn t-shirt. Love, hate, wish, and fear. What's up, Leah? Leah is the one who gifted me with my beautiful head wrap, baby. Miss Dina had put it with the other head. I just found it. Listen, you have to listen. It says you have to find out what they love, what they hate, right? And they wish and what they fear before you can conquer their hearts. All right. So when it comes to reversal of the laws, guess what? There is no reversal of this law. This law is what it is. All right, y'all. Did y'all have a good time today? A good time. I hope you did. If you haven't already, we're going to manifest. Tomorrow, we're going to start on Law 44, which is disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Y'all ain't ready for that one. We're going to start on Law 44 tomorrow. And then we're going to carry on to this. Listen. Love, you got to find out what they love, what they hate, what they wish for, and what they fear. Y'all, we had a time today. We had a time today in front of our other wall, honey. I'm giving you walls, talking about walls. I'm giving y'all different walls, different looks, depending on the outfit. All right. But we gonna manifest. Y'all ready to manifest? Are y'all ready? All right. I want you to manifest today on whose heart you ready to win over. I want you to pick the person whose heart that you want to win over, right? Whose heart, whose keyhole, that didn't sound right. Whose keyhole you want to look into? Huh? What door you want to open? Okay? I want you to manifest that person, manifest those actions, right? Once we manifest, we give it to God, it's already done. We already know what we got to do. Don't ask our keyhole. What? Okay, I'm sorry. Ah, okay, my bad. Let's go ahead and manifest. Y'all ready? Not too much? Okay, not too much. Y'all, tonight I will be on live tonight. Me and a headscarf will be on live tonight. Baby, we are doing one word answers. They probably gonna come in my live tonight because I'm giving Miss Cleo. I'm giving, call me now. I'm giving Miss Cleo tonight. I wasn't trying to. I just, that little ponytail just bothered me this morning. I'm giving Miss Cleo. So I will be on tonight. We're doing one words tonight. One words tonight. One words. Donation is $15 for one words. And then 10 or more for regular questions. All right. Let's go ahead and manifest. You ready? Let's breathe in, breathe out 3 times. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Breathe in. Hold it. I want you to see the person whose heart you are trying to win over. I need you to see it, believe it, and know it, and release. I should have took a sip. Hold on. All right, y'all. On the count of 3. My bad. On the count of 3. No, Alexa. Damn. Wait, let me take a sip, baby. Alexa.
I don't know that one.
Alexa, y'all, you don't know my manifestations.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Lord have mercy. Y'all, on the count of 3, I want everybody to manifest with me. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she over here manifesting too. She said, I don't know that one. Hey, y'all, it's been amazing. We are back. The book is back. Make sure that you go on to my link, my Amazon link, and get the Psychology of Winning, y'all. Make sure y'all get the Psychology of Winning. We're starting this book at the beginning of May. It's going to be amazing. The Psychology of Winning, right? Make sure you guys have signed up for the Purpose class, which is May 3rd. And I hope y'all hoes going to be in Hoology. Hoology is on the 28th, baby. The whole I used that was a light breeze. Yeah. Hoology is on the 28th. So I hope to see y'all there. Hey, y'all have a wonderful day. It is 1:11 on the dot. We about to go. Hey, Facebook, YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure y'all share this with somebody. It might save their life. Bye.